Harrison, and I'm back. Had a week off.
Back.
Last week, went on a little vacay. Bree,
Looks like it did you well.
It was great. It was perfect. It was a birthday combined with anniversary trip for us. Well, at the 10 years at the end of this month. In holy matrimony.
Holy matrimony.
So I love that.
10 years.
10 long years, 10 short years, 10 great years. Yes, we did a little trip, a little international trip, and we're back. So Bree hosted the show last week, and you said she did okay?
It went well, yeah.
Okay.
She did better than okay. She killed it, man.
Well, don't say that, because now I'm like, did she do better than me? Is this something I should be concerned about?
Your lack of answer.
Did you like that dramatic pause? No, she just has a different style than you. That's all.
And it's a worse style, is what you're saying.
Hers is?
I don't know.
No, it was good.
I will say one thing. They painted the table yesterday.
Nice.
So this is like a little infamous table here at the Kokomo Post. We use it for a lot of content, and it used to be like white spots on it, and now it's all one.
It's beautiful.
Uniform color.
Yep.
Which is nice. So I guess that happened last week. But welcome back to the show. Let's pay some bills real quick with some ads.
You bet.
IPT's fall sports season is here, and IPT screen printing is the place to go for all your uniform needs. Contact Kyle Fouts at 765-480-3082 for more information. There's a 20-shirt minimum. Check them out on Facebook. That's IPT's screen printing, screen printed apparel for any occasion, and uniforms for any sport. I guess winter, is it safe to say like that winter sports are coming?
I was just going to say, winter sports are, because they'll probably have basketball call-outs in October.
What else is winter sports?
Just a few weeks
basketball, volleyball. Is volleyball a winter sport?
No, volleyball's a fall sport.
Oh, okay.
But swimming is a winter sport, and they
which
still
is always
do
funny to me.
attire.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So,
also, we have Fun Factory Outlet Indiana. Fall is in full swing at Fun Factory Outlet Indiana, and they have customization options to fit the needs of every family. Check out the versatile swing set options and set designs that include picnic tables or multiple climbing options. Different and additional slides, ramps, monkey bars, and skylofts are available, as well as fun accessories like chalkboard, bubble panels, or even tic-tac-toe. Give them a call at 765-522-PLAY. Fun Factory Outlet Indiana is located just south of Crossroads Church on 931 in Kokomo.
I wonder if there's any features that are like winter related, because I know in the wintertime my kids are always out on their play sets, so I wonder if there's something, maybe the rock wall or something you can pack snow in.
Well, like the one we have, which we got from them, there's like a little like canopy over the top part, so even if it's snowy, that stays pretty dry probably. So yeah, you're right. Like I remember, gotta love like a sunny, cold winter day where like you're just itching to go outside and get some. Is it vitamin C or D? Which one's the sun?
That'd be
D.
It's vitamin D.
Yes,
yeah, you're just itching for that type of thing. So yeah, totally. And we've had pretty warmish winters the last few years. Nothing crazy. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get. I've heard the Farmer's Almanac is supposed to snow. I've heard.
Snow went
this winter
quite a bit.
Yes. Like a lot is what I've heard. Which we haven't had that in a long time either.
But did Farmer's Almanac call for that last year?
I don't know. I don't pay attention much.
And there was a time when I loved a good snowfall, and I still like a good snowfall. But now that I have to deal with snow removal,
it's changed it for you.
After a day or two, it's like, okay, enough. Now let's just stop so we can get things cleared and
go on with life. Yeah. All right. So tell me what's been going on at City Hall.
Talk about that snow removal a lot there, Mayor.
Only in the winter months.
Yes.
Gotcha.
About 2 or 3 months. Yes. It's all he talks about. Yeah.
So yeah, the good thing with that, the snow falls, and if there's any cracks, potholes, or something, it fills that up. But then they just rear their ugly head when it melts. Yeah. So we'll get to that later, though.
Sure. So tell me what's been going on at City Hall.
Believe it or not, as I left City Hall, I made my way through the conference room because the committee meeting to organize this year's Christmas parade.
There it is.
We're there. So yeah, they're talking about sponsorships and possibly a snowmaking machine on a few of the building. Oh yeah, my mom's over the top. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the same. I mean, encouraging maybe some vendors to come out, some additional ones.
Okay.
And then just some of the other features that they want to have, either pre or post parade, and just looking forward to it. They're really excited.
No, I'm excited about that too. And we've talked a little bit about possibly something Christmas or holiday village
more
related.
Well,
Any
we'll
updated
see.
on that?
No updates on that. I mean, because we'd have to look at the decoration and such, because a lot of the displays that we have, they make available to the wise men for down in the Highland
that's
Park.
right, yeah.
So,
So the city owns
Can't say
those
no.
displays, or the Wiseman own those displays?
you're correct. I think the Wiseman owns them, but the city stores them and puts
Does
them
the
up and takes
power
them
and
down.
stuff like that?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Installation, removal, power.
Got it. Love that. Yeah. So, I mean, what did I miss last week? Anything crazy going on in Kokomo last week? I
trying to think
completely
what was-
unplugged for
Yeah,
life.
and good for you. I'm trying to think what we were talking about. I mean, some moving ahead on some additional on the existing road projects. I mean, finishing up Markland, moving ahead, getting close to Park Road. Center Road was already done, but was notified last week that the pedestrian and bike trail along Center Road is now a go. But that won't be constructed or start until next spring, just because of the timing. I actually had someone ask today when they could start raking their leaves to the side of the street. Leaf pickup will not be until November. Right now we're still doing limbs, and you can't commingle the limbs and the leaves because of the two different areas that they're taken.
Gotcha.
But still working our way throughout the city to pick up some leftover limbs from adverse weather that made its way through about a month or so ago. But doing that while getting trash picked up and such. But we were talking about the new Engine 3 that finally made its way to town.
Okay. It looked very shiny.
Sponsored by Center Township, so it'll be located in Station 3 and on the north end, just off of Apperson. So kudos again to Fire Chief Chris Frazier and Trustee Reverend Robert Lee to come to an agreement with that. And we've got another one coming that was, so Engine 3 was supposed to be delivered last November. It just got here. The next engine that was due was supposed to be May or June. It's now, I guess, not going to be available until, I think they said March or April. So it's just crazy, the whole, I mean, that no industry or product is immune to supply chain issues.
Yeah.
And
Even like public safety, things like that.
Yep.
They all take the same kind of stuff.
Yep.
So we talked about Christmas a little bit. Like Halloween's coming up.
Oh yeah, can't
That's exciting.
leave out Halloween because we're doing the Haunted Trail again, and I think they're going to step that up a little bit too. Maybe have some trunk or treat available that Saturday as well out at Jackson Morrow. So the park department still sponsoring the Haunted Trail that night. I forget the date of the Saturday that it's on, but you can go to the city's Facebook page or the Parks Department page and check that out as well.
Love that.
So yeah, so that's coming up. I know the Historical Society is doing their From the Dark Pages
That's a cool program.
show, yeah, up at the Cyberling in search of Jack the Ripper. So that's always a fun production as well. But yeah, Ghosts and Ghouls just around the corner.
Yeah, we're starting to plan some Halloween content. Mm-hmm. Some of it is
It's a little spooky.
Sweet.
it's gonna be spooky, I think. And
little spooky.
we're meeting with. Should I give it away or not, or just keep it secret, like some of the stuff we're doing?
I mean, you can keep it a little vague.
We're just
Well, okay, we're meeting with like some sort of medium type of individual.
okay.
And then we're going to be doing another, like, we did this last year too, out at Adams Mill. Mm-hmm. Not a full overnight, except like we were there late. Mm-hmm. And we did that out at Adams Mill, which we'll have to find the video of that if you want to go back and watch that. But we're doing that here at a home.
Good.
In Kokomo, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Kokomo.
That the people we're working with, they've told stories about this house, and
All right.
it's consistent, creepy happenings
Nice.
that happen at this home.
Nice.
It's not, just so anybody may be thinking, it's not like the Cyberling or the Elliott house, even though which if we can find the link of that blog, the Elliott House they made my list a few years back of like the top 5 spookiest places in and around Kokomo. But that's coming, and it's going to be interesting. We're filming it now, so it'll come out in October, which is really soon, by the way. September's flown by.
2 weeks.
So I mean, what do you think about all this? Do you get into all the spooky stuff?
Oh, I love spooky stuff. Absolutely.
So like the hauntings and all that?
I'm all about hauntings, and I mean, and
why isn't he
working
coming
their
with
way
us?
in? Because actually, Ryan Minnick and Steve
Yes.
DeLon had one of the first Fridays that I had
basement.
to go Saturday, down there, and worked our way down there. I had some of the kids with me, and they're like, "Okay, I think we're done. We'll meet you upstairs."
No, it's just, I don't know. Bree loves this time of year. She's like a big spooky fan. And she's excited. She gets all, like literally you saw when you walked in, like there's black, that spider webs all over the desk. That happened over the weekend or over the week last week. I don't know. Aaron, what are your thoughts?
You know my thoughts. I don't like spooky things at all. I do not like them even a little bit, and can't wait.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Wait to go. So I went last year on the ghost hunt adventure. I am scheduled to go this year.
Perfect.
We will see if that happens.
Has the family discussed a family costume this year? A theme?
Kind of.
Still.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You don't have to give it away. No
What are we
spoilers,
doing? Is it
but
Peter
just-
Pan? Is that what we're doing?
That is currently the going idea.
Okay. So I'm going to be Smee, which I'm excited about.
Cool.
Shmee. Yeah.
Yeah, we watched Hook a couple
Oh,
weeks
I
ago.
love that
I know.
movie.
My kids had never
love
seen
that
it.
movie.
That was the first time they'd seen it, and yeah, it was great.
Dustin Hoffman was perfect.
He's one of those, like
Perfect.
halfway through, I looked
Captain
up like,
Hook.
who is Captain Hook? I'm like, that's Dustin Hoffman? Because when I
I
first
love it.
watched it as a kid, I didn't know who Dustin Hoffman.
Jack.
Oh gosh, such a good movie.
It is.
Yeah, so that's happening, and we've got some scary stuff coming on for October. So if you're into that kind of thing, stay tuned, because I think it's going to be fun content. Yeah.
Perfect.
Also, we have the throwdown. The tenderloin throwdown going on right now, which we just announced the final 4 today, right? So let's look that up. We have number 3, the Elbow Room, against number 12 ranked Ned's Corner Pub.
The one I grew up with.
Ned's Corner Pub was your go-to. And then number 6 ranked Down on Main Street against number 13 ranked Choo Choo Magoo's. So Down on Main Street's in Greentown. I don't know if did you know that?
I did know that, but I have never been out there to have one of their.
I did. Shout out to Baxter Howell over at Brad Howell. I had lunch with him when they were still out in Greentown, and he said, we're going there. Because I'm like, where do you want to go? He's like, trust me, I got it. I tried their grilled tenderloin, and their grilled tenderloin was really good. It's like dipped in this like mustard sauce type of thing too. Never had the breaded one, but I imagine it's good. So that's going on right now. You can vote at thekokomopost.com/tenderloin. And then a week from today, right? We will have the championship round.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Look out.
Over 30,000 votes once again for this throwdown. It's been crazy. You guys love these throwdowns, and some of you have been creating your own content, tenderloin related, I guess you could say. Everybody's in the tenderloin spirit.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Some of us are maybe, I don't know, more bitter about tenderloins right now than others, but there's the tenderloins are in the air, I guess is what I'll say. Everybody goes by the way, the new kids in the world, they're calling them tendies.
Tendies. Okay.
I'm gonna go get me a tenderloin. That's what that.
Need to remember that. I'll
just
throw that
keep
out
up
to
with
my
the
kids and see
language.
if they go, Dad, really don't ever do that again.
No, that's a tendy. They'll be like, oh, good job, Dad. That was really hip of you. I love that.
No, they usually tell me just to stop like that. Don't
Just don't even try.
say that again. Please
I'm
don't
getting
do
to that.
Again. I'm like, what are you talking about?
My kids are getting to be that whole like my parents aren't cool anymore thing, so that's exciting. Sup, Jacob? I see you in the comments. Thanks for watching today.
Hey.
Robert Cohey. Do you know Robert Cohey?
I do know Robert Cohey.
He said
chiming in too.
he said bark for the dog, Mayor. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, he's the dog.
Oh, he's the dog. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I'm
was
not gonna
scared
lie.
to tell you that comment. I didn't know what was going on.
I read that as bark for the dog mayor, and I was like,
Is he calling him a dog
Oh,
mare?
the dog mare.
Dog?
Well, there was no comma
I didn't know.
after dog, so you never know.
Punctuation changes things, folks.
Yeah. But those
bet.
they're watching online, make sure to leave. If you have any questions or comments for the mayor, leave them in the chat below. We'll get to those in a minute for the Ask the Mayor segment, partner with Lexi's Drink Barn. Also, something we got going on in the Kokomo Post right now, we have it's September, correct?
September giveaway.
Yeah, with September sweepstakes going on right now. You can answer that. $1,400 worth of great things that would make your October life so much better.
Unbelievable.
So go to kokomopost.com/September to be entered into that. Oh, we started grocery giveaways.
Oh,
are
perfect.
officially going.
Okay.
So that's exciting. You can go to the kokomopost.com/grocery. We're giving away $100 in grocery gift cards every
awesome.
single week for 3 months.
Awesome.
Another $1,200
guys
in
rock.
free stuff. So giving away a lot of things. Love to see that. So I didn't ask, what did you do over the weekend? I saw did you go down to IU?
Man, I did go down to IU. Actually,
Nice.
I snuck away for a part of the day on Friday down to Louisville and caught some of the Bourbon and Beyond Music Fest.
How was that?
It was nice. It was over the top, which was
Nice.
cool. But yeah, then headed down. It was family day at Bloomington for the Hoosiers taking on Western Kentucky.
Barely squeaked out a win.
Barely
didn't they?
squeaked out a win, yeah.
I think I'll be down there October 8th. That's when Michigan's playing IU, and I'm going to go down for that.
Perfect.
Game. Yeah.
But yeah, my
Great
daughter
stadium.
came up from Lexington. Another daughter came down from Indianapolis, and so we just kind of converged on Bloomington to visit Jacob. And it was a beautiful day, great time hanging out. And then yesterday, we tried this last year, but we had a neighborhood block party. So it was like meet the neighbor. We've been in the neighborhood for almost 12 years now, and only know a handful of the neighbors. Like, gosh darn it, I mean, we've been talking about it. We finally did it.
Yeah.
So blocked off part of the street, threw up some tables and chairs, some canopies, told everybody to bring a side dish to share, and had a little cornhole tournament and everything. And
Did you win?
I almost won, but no, I didn't.
Okay.
The Halls took it to me. They're it's
I bet.
amazing. But no, it ended up being a beautiful night, and we thought, okay, maybe 3 hours might be a little long, but everybody hung out well past the quitting time, and I mean, it was really nice. I mean, having people say, we've lived in this neighborhood almost 20 years and really didn't even know who was around the corner. I mean, so it was everybody from, a few blocks away, and it was really cool.
It's
really
real.
nice.
Like that does happen. We live in like the Forest Park area, and there's been a how many years now?
Last 2 years.
Two or 3 years, something like that. They've had a little block party type of thing in summer.
Down to that little triangle, right? I think.
Yeah,
my
yeah, in that
my son
area,
comes
yeah.
and crashes it.
Nice. We'll have them. Speaking of crashing, people love our neighborhood for Halloween. Our neighborhood blows up on Halloween. It's one of my favorite nights.
Well, they love our neighborhood for block party too. I do feel like we every single time end up with a lot of folks who are like, nah, Forest Park adjacent, but it's so fun. I mean, it is this like adorable spirit of community, meeting all your neighbors, eating food with them, hanging out. Like props to I think the Thatcher family in our area.
Yeah, Patty has led that. Yeah,
spearheading, but it's such a cool thing.
Yeah.
Growing up, like where I grew up, we didn't have that, and I love it.
Yeah, because it's true. You can get stuck in this really little rut of you go to work, you come home, and you don't leave your house until you do it the next day. And like weekends, you're busy running around.
Yeah.
I know most of our neighbors. I hate to say, I know one of my neighbors simply because a bad storm happened and one of their giant trees in their front yard got pulled out, and I went over and helped like that. So without that storm, I probably never would have met them. But you're right. No,
But that's part of the purpose too. I mean, we not knowing who. I mean, if somebody needs something, to be able to say, hey, the Halls are over there. We know where they live, and you can check on them, or guy across the backyard. I mean, it's just in case anybody needs anything.
It's true.
Know who to go to and who's where.
Yep.
I love it.
We're getting a new neighbor actually right behind us.
Fun.
Which.
We don't know. We don't know.
It's probably
not,
happening.
It's not for sure. But here's what I love about Kokomo is that I posted that one of our neighbors was leaving, and instantly an acquaintance of mine from the gym reached out and said, "Tell me more about that house." And so there is a distinct possibility that this person.
We picked our neighbors, basically.
Yeah,
there you
it's
go.
The dream. It is the dream.
So half of the deal is done right now. So something else needs to happen for it to
it's just-
fully.
Oh, sure.
So I mean, but it's going to happen. We picked our neighbors.
Nothing wrong with that.
We're manifesting this.
And they have cute doggies, and we have an adorable doggie, and there's a fence, and I'm like, we should just put a gate in the fence, and they could just be
they
best
can be
friends.
dog friends.
Okay, perfect.
Dog friends.
This is like the small town dream that I am
true.
legitimately living. So
It's
cool.
true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, good to hear. Good to hear. Have a good weekend. We spent it obviously like traveling back
Absolutely.
from vacation and then doing about little nothing yesterday, just hang out and get ready to
Gotta
be
recoup, man.
normal
Gotta
life now
recoup.
again. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it. Gonna be honest, you guys have not submitted a lot of questions this week to the Ask the Mayor segment. So if you're still watching this and you have a question or a comment for the mayor, just leave it in the chat below. I do have one that was posted on our Facebook page earlier today, and it is from Austin on Facebook. He says, any chance we can get something similar to City Center and Carmel into Kokomo?
Something similar to City Center.
Which is like a big
in
shopping
Kokomo.
area. Is that like a clay terrace?
Well, ironically, that was some of the impetus, if you will, that caused me to get Jenny Jordan on board too. But to send out an RFP, which is a request for proposal, to prospective developers to look at the Warren Auto Parts site.
Yep.
So that
A
right
lot of
there,
potential over there.
there's the opportunity for mixed use, which apartment style living, which we definitely need in a big way. But some retail, office, commercial. One of the plans that we kind of threw in, just a suggestion, is to remove a section of that and have a kind of courtyard area similar to City Center and
like
Carmel.
what I'm looking at here.
Yep.
Well, and think of, I mean, like that area has such that very trendy industrial look, right? Like I can completely see that
Yeah.
being.
So we'll
revitalized
see.
area. That's cool.
We've
That's
got
cool.
we've got some back. I mean, we need to follow up with them as kind of a second interview type of thing to see what their thoughts are and funding mechanisms and what, if anything, they would need the city to consider filling the gap in that financing. So we'll cross our fingers and see if something comes of it. I mean,
Well,
it's
let's
gonna
talk
be
about that.
quite the endeavor.
Well, like just the process of this in general. So the sending out the RFP, request for proposal, is that something that is normal in this process, or sometimes our developers? Because I thought people were showing interest already in this. Correct?
Well,
Were there a few when it got announced?
But that was the deal. That was
Due to the RFP,
so when we had the assessment done, did some environmental to see what.
Yeah.
So a lot of that initial legwork we did, which again was incentive to the developers to actually take a look.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're already poking around to find out what we may be walking into. So yeah, when we put that together and had released that, that's when we were getting contacted by some developers to come in and walk the site and
Gotcha.
and get an idea for the information they would need to throw into their proposal for us to.
So has there been any proposals submitted, I guess, from developers in that area?
We received 3. And so, like I said, so now we'll follow up with them in kind of a second interview type of situation and go through their proposal and see, because some of it was kind of vague. I mean, it's just throwing out everything
general.
for that idea and not necessarily specific dollar amounts attached, but knowing that each one would need the city to, so it would be a public-private partnership again. It is have the city, or if we could get the alliance to weigh in as well, but just see what type of gap would need to be filled financing-wise to make that happen, or some aspect of it. So we'll see. Fingers crossed.
So so I don't know. We get a lot of these questions or demands. Sometimes they feel like from people like Kokomo needs more this. Kokomo needs more that. So in some situations, the city could play a role in assisting in the creation of, I don't know, more an entertaining thing for kids or something like that.
Especially in that venue. I mean, that's, you're looking at it going,
But that's the difference, is the venue.
Multi-million-dollar. Yeah. There's no way we could, snatch that up and do something ourselves. We would need, a developer in, but the developer same way, like, oh man, this is over the top. It would cost this, and we could probably, with our portfolio of things and projects, be able to cover this. And so let's see where there could be some assistance to make happen. So
Gotcha. Can you give us any insight of what people have possibly proposed for that area? Obviously mixed living. Or,
Yeah, I mean, definitely the apartment style. And if you've not been in there, I mean, there's already a natural skylight. I mean, through the middle of that thing, which really the developers that walked through, they're like, oh my gosh, this is
really cool.
This is perfect. Yeah, so you got an open courtyard feel, parking on the main level. I mean, to assist or to accommodate some of the apartment living, but there was plenty of parking, except the building to the south, kind of the open one, there was talk of even covered and year-long farmers market facility, or kind
nice.
of a almost like in Ventrec Technology Park, almost like a restaurant type of incubator.
Gotcha.
In there. So kind of what the farmers market has already done with their
in downtown.
The old Sandy's site.
So let's talk about, I guess, apartments real quick, because there was a story in the Kokomo Tribune, it was last week, where a architecture firm, they applied for a housing development out over by Ladd Dentistry on Lincoln.
Off of Lincoln.
Yeah. And at first they didn't get it, and then they applied again. There's this, I don't know if this could be one of those things that I think it's just Kokomo, and then I don't know if I look out in other places, everybody does this, or every city has people that complain about it. Any use of the word apartment, for some reason, a lot of people in Kokomo are very adamant against the idea of more apartments, or even like townhomes or things like that, because I don't know, they tie it together with the classic theory that it's just more people the city's bringing in for government housing from Chicago, all those theories that have never been proven or anything like that. Or they just think it's just a troubled neighborhood type of environment with apartments. But obviously they keep getting built in Kokomo, and
there's a waiting list. I mean, there's
a waiting list.
And unfortunately, when they talk about housing, and in our market, I say our market with Kokomo, I mean, we're a manufacturing town. I mean, and so when they talk about constructing homes or apartments and use the term affordable housing, you're right. There's that stigma. People immediately think, "Oh, subsidized." That means,
no, it just means it's a marketing term for it's affordable.
Yeah, it just means that the folks in a certain income level, which really, I mean, we would probably all fall into that category as well. They would qualify for
just non-luxury. Non-luxury living is affordable.
Yeah,
but it's just a marketing term. But you're right. That has turned into equal to government housing.
It's a stigma,
which has all the stigma, everything like that. So, I mean, from a city, what can we do to combat that attitude where, and it's a lot of time I'll say this, and just to be fair, it's older populations that maybe when they were younger making housing decisions, apartments weren't their number one choice, or apartments equaled maybe lower income. Not the case. There are so many people living in apartments now that probably pay more per month for rent than what these people pay in mortgage payments.
And then on top of that, are paying probably for a storage facility, because they've got to have a place to put their stuff while they decide to either stay where they are or eventually buy a larger home themselves.
Yeah, and there is a housing shortage. I mean, you can look at the cost of homes in this area in general are a lot higher than what they have been historically, not just because of no reason. It's because there's not a lot to choose from.
Right.
I mean, I have friends in the real estate world that have said there have never been this few homes for sale in Howard County than ever before. So it's frustrating to me that there's this this attitude towards apartments, or even though I think the story I was talking about, these are not even apartments, they're duplexes that will be owned by individual homeowners.
Yeah.
So they're not even
almost
renting.
like townhomes, right?
Exactly. But what can we do with that attitude and that understanding? It's just an education thing, I think. Letting people know this isn't a bad, when you see an apartment complex being built, or you see an announcement like this, or a zoning appeal to build new townhomes, it's not a bad thing for Kokomo.
Right.
It's a good thing, because like you said, there is a waiting list for apartments right now. The same reason there's a waiting list just for homes in general.
Right.
Which is why Arbor Homes, with the Samsung announcement, is building those 300 new homes in Kokomo, which is crazy to think. When you think those 300 homes, that's still not going to be enough.
Right.
there's still going to be more needed to fit that need. But like, what can we do with that public attitude of renting or apartments or even townhomes to really educate? It's not a bad thing. It's a common thing in our country, and it's really a great thing for Kokomo, because that means there are people that want to live here and work, live, and play here.
Yeah, it's just continuing to, like you said, to get the word out, to get that information in front of folks. Even like the article you just pulled up, it showed a kind of a
drawing,
a schematic of what the front end, and they looks really
modern and nice,
and modern, And so it's, I guess, for folks in that situation, I mean, when things are being proposed, come to the planning commission meetings or the city council meetings or county council meetings, and not county council, but county planning commission, where, I mean, a lot of those the plans are displayed and discussed and such. I mean, so you get a better idea, of what's being developed, as opposed to just saying, hey, we're not opposed to it, we just don't want it over the other side of the fence, because we're not going to have to look at it, when in actuality, I mean, it may be a better use of that piece of property than maybe a commercial type of store. There's a convenience store that's got a dumpster out back. And such. I mean, so it's just continuing to find ways to educate and inform, and hope that they take the initiative to listen. Yeah,
because it's one of those stereotypes about just apartments or things like that it just equals poverty, or it equals rough neighbor. And it's not true. I mean, what we're talking about, the Carmel, and this is, I guess, what's brought it up to me, the Carmel City Center is this gorgeous property in Carmel that is sought out from anyone in Indiana to come visit. All of those are rented apartments. Like, that is not a rough neighborhood in Carmel, So it's like, hey, let's learn from the developments that Carmel has done that have been great for that city, and see what fits here.
Well, and that's what I'm looking at a piece. There was a study done by an organization called Rent Cafe, and it looked at the number, or the increase in applications for rentals from high earning, meaning $50,000 or more adults. And Indianapolis was 15th in the nation with a 51% increase in 2021. But they weren't all millennials. There are Gen Xers, there are boomers who are sort of falling into that piece. And I think some of it is that, like, the idea of home ownership is less appealing to...
Well, it's a harder hurdle for a lot of younger people.
Exactly.
Yeah. And exactly. Economically,
But I think a lot of, like, maybe sometimes the loudest of the squeaky wheels, and maybe some of the people who are holding on to false ideas are folks who are coming from that idea that home ownership is the end all be all.
Yeah. And it doesn't need to be for anybody, really. And that's what I was saying too, the whole, I guess, the economical stereotypes that come with apartments. Like, I guarantee there are people paying more in rent for some of an apartment or a house they're renting than some people that are complaining about this are paying in their mortgage. Like, absolutely guaranteed. So, I mean, technically they got more means to do it than those people do. So it's interesting. It's a frustrating thing to me, because it's just an example of people being hard or being tough to do with progress and like things that are just happening, not just in Kokomo, everywhere. But you're talking about, like, the economics of, like, a younger person these days, due to they're always trying to pay a higher rent cost. It's harder to save for maybe that down payment, which is your background in the real estate world. It's harder for people to save for that down payment for an actual home. So, I mean, it's interesting. It's just it's another, I don't know, I guess I just wanted to vent, because it's frustrating seeing those comments and that attitude towards younger people, probably. I know you said they could be any age, but, like, younger people wanting to live in Kokomo, and the word chasing them away by trying to make it sound negative about being in an apartment or things like that. I'm like, no, let's welcome them with open arms and, like, welcome into the city and, build big, beautiful places, whether that's a home or an apartment complex that they feel great living in. That's my attitude with it. Carl says he loves this show. Thanks, Carl.
Hey, thanks, Carl.
Thanks.
Appreciate that, Carl. If you have a question, let us know.
And we forgot to mention that this segment was brought to you by.
Oh, did
Lexi's
you kind of
Drink
just
Bar.
jumped in, didn't we? Yeah, the cup's here. Lexi's Drink Barn is the partner for the Ask the Mayor segment. They're my people. I'm going to be honest. I missed a good fountain Coke on vacation. That's something you can really only get in Kokomo.
Yep.
Tell you what, I missed it. You were talking about the Drew is my go-to drink. It is a 44-ounce Coke Zero with sugar-free vanilla. You know, health. That's why.
That's right.
Health. Trying to be healthy. Right? Yeah, so go check them out. They have some good food options. They've got ice cream they released this summer, so go check that out. We just did a video over there trying some new stuff, I think maybe. We're going to, maybe. But yeah, go check them out. They got some good paninis over there. They just remodeled their Washington location.
Washington, yeah.
Looks great.
Does look sharp.
Beautiful. They'll probably do that to the Markland one too. So
bet.
shout out to Lexi's for being a partner for the Ask the Mayor segment. You know, I'm going to flip something on you.
Great.
Oh,
I'm not the mayor, as you might know.
Okay.
true story.
You got any questions for me?
Oh, questions for you. Oh,
You
gosh.
may have heard of Ask the Mayor. Have you heard of Ask the Drew?
Ask the Drew.
A less popular show.
Carl no longer loves this show. He's like, I watched it as the mayor questions. Why are we talking to Drew? Got any questions for me?
Wow.
Putting you on the spot.
So,
This has nothing to do with we didn't get a lot of questions today, and I'm filling time.
Nope.
Has nothing to do
nothing
with
to
that.
do with that.
No.
Just putting that out there. That's a rumor on the internet. It's not true.
So,
He knows everything about me.
I know. No, I mean, I don't, but, man, you did put me on the spot.
Carl, do you have any questions for me down there? Carl Wilt, I see you.
Carl. Hey, man.
Carl.
Is that the guy that got mad at me one time?
He may have.
I love that. Carl, see, we're good now, huh? You and me. Look at us.
Yep.
So, obviously, you guys live close to downtown.
Yeah, we
Have
do.
Your business, in downtown.
Sure.
Are there certain businesses or offerings that the city should be pursuing or focusing on? I mean, obviously, we've got the Hotel Conference Center coming, but there's still some open retail space there at the bottom of the parking garage.
There
There's
is.
one down at the corner of 306 Riverfront, the old rabbit holes for sale
Yeah.
as well. I mean, so there's possibilities. I mean, are there offerings that in your travels, I mean, I know you
Which
can't
is
really compare.
I've timed it. It takes us 4 minutes to get to work driving.
Sure does.
4 minutes commute.
Are there things that you feel in your dealings with others in the community that the city needs to focus on?
I don't know. I feel like we are spoiled in our area. We kind of got a little bit of everything we need. Great restaurants,
to me-
great pizza spot, coffee shop. I mean,
We do.
Yeah.
And I would say there are most certainly places in Kokomo that are clearly food deserts.
that's true. Actually,
clearly,
yeah, there it is.
I think absolutely need like some push.
A
from-
grocery.
Yeah, I mean there are some places where we know that there are people, especially on the north end of town, who don't have access to fresh fruits, vegetables. I mean, nutritious foods.
When that marsh went out.
Yeah.
Was it a Save a Lot and then what that went out too? Or was it just a
No,
marsh?
Save a Lot's still open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Off of Morgan.
But I know there are some specific areas where, the VP is the main source of food for some folks. I think that's a place where, like, how do we keep moving the needle on stuff like that?
Yeah.
And it's
to make
tough
sure that there's
to-
sort of equity across the board.
Yeah, and it's
But
food
what we're
desert.
finding out too, it has a lot to do with accessibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that if you plop if Marsh were to reopen or Marsh or even White's Meat Market, okay, so you've got the
you lost
availability
White's, too, that's
there.
Yeah.
Are the people able to get to it? And then when they're and if they don't, if they rely on public transportation, our trolleys or Spirit of Kokomo buses, because those end at 6 or 7 o'clock
Yeah.
when
Yep.
people are finally getting off and getting kids situated and such, and can't have the time to hop on the trolley because it's an
Yeah.
hour route. Is it, and it's what we're looking on. I'm kind of leading, and I'm asking the
No, yeah.
question, but it's kind of what we're doing. And we're looking
Yeah.
into extending the hours into the evenings for our trolleys and Spirit of Kokomo buses, and then offering either a Saturday or Sunday
Yes.
block of hours as well, because
Oh, that's only a Monday through Friday thing right now? I didn't know that.
due to funding.
That's been a grant-funded thing, right?
FTA.
Yeah.
So because they're FTA funds, if we were to offer, if we say, okay, Spirit of Kokomo buses, not so much on the weekends because a lot of them are doctor's visits and such, because both systems are federally funded through FTA funds, if you offer one, you have to offer the other. And so because we're struggling to keep drivers on the streets as well, I mean, therein lies the staffing for the buses, but then the additional funds, because even though there's FTA funds available, city's still got to match it to help fund it as well. So that's some of the things we're looking at. But you're right. Some of the food deserts, if you get a grocery to set up, what we're finding out too is that people don't. And is it something too that we look at a program, because a lot of the groceries do deliver now.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And find a program that if you're income qualified, we pay your annual fee for food delivery service. And
Kroger just came out. We're a Kroger family because it's just on the west side there.
Yep.
And they just came out. They have that Kroger Plus, right? But they have is it called Boost?
Boost.
Yeah, Boost. It's their first paid Kroger Plus membership. $100 a year, but it includes free delivery.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's been amazing.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I think some of those things, I think it's easy to fall into that trap of we need a skating rink, right? Or we need
people need a grocery store that they can easily access.
Yeah, and sort of looking at some of those things. I mean, in some cases, I feel almost guilty because we work downtown, we live close to downtown. I feel like in a lot of ways we experience such a beautiful, vibrant Kokomo.
Yeah.
Some of that is our own. I mean, we've chosen to locate our business here. We've chosen to participate in a lot of these things. So, but there's some of those pieces where I'm like, oh man, how do we invite more people into that, and how do we make sure some of those basic needs are all taken care of?
And it's
working on it.
It's tough too. A lot of the Kokomo, it's a mindset type of thing too.
So we actually, I say we, the city, county, Center Township, and Alliance have contracted with a consultant to take an assessment, an overview of the entire city to see where the struggles are. I mean, they'll be doing some interview sessions with various sectors of the community starting either next week or week after.
That's cool.
And then they'll kind of look at where some of the struggles are,
just
and
an
what
audit
some of the
of
challenges.
sorts.
Yeah, and then give us maybe a plan.
How cool is that? This is.
You just don't know what you don't know. So sometimes it takes an outside eyeball.
Right.
Yeah. And what an amazing thought that not that you didn't know this as mayor, but man, you guys are involved in potentially changing
basic
huge
needs.
things.
We're trying.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
So-
Tell you what,
That's great.
tell you who, speaking of groceries, and I've been blown away by it lately, freaking Tipton, Indiana, just opened up the new Market on Main, is what it's correct?
Oh, really?
I believe so. Yeah.
Well, not the city, obviously, but a private
But still,
investor
yeah.
built it.
Oh, cool.
And they took an old bank, downtown bank type of building, and turned into this beautiful grocery store, small market.
Awesome. There you go.
It was gorgeous.
Got similar ones, sister ones in Cicero and I think Noblesville
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, got it.
Really lovely, very small, but very lovely.
Tipton's doing
Awesome.
things. We did a Tries video at that East Street Provisions as well.
Yep.
The family that owns the popcorn, Groomsville popcorn. You ever heard of Groomsville?
I haven't.
Yeah, they opened up the restaurant in Tipton too. Tipton's doing cool stuff.
We're up in Peru too. Honestly, it's so fun to see. We've sort of watched this revitalization of Kokomo and what has happened in the last, 15 years here. It's so fun to start to see the seeds of that in Tipton, the seeds of that in Peru. It's
Cool.
Well, we want to be humble,
area.
but at the same time, a lot of those things are happening because they watched what Kokomo did
I think so.
and are doing. We're not saying we're done. We're not done progressing. But a lot of that, that's true. I've heard from many different people over the years that Kokomo has kind of become a case study of sorts of how to revitalize the downtown area, right? Revitalize and use what's there and do great things with it. So, Peru is probably taking notes. Tipton's taking notes. Tipton's in a great wave because Cicero's doing some cool stuff. And I don't know what people have always said, Indy is just going to keep growing and growing, right? So congratulations, Tipton, doing some cool stuff. Hey, Carl has a question.
Oh, he does.
I've got two questions.
What are they doing on East Taylor Street?
That for you?
You. We're back to
Is he
you,
actually-
I think. Yeah. I ain't doing nothing on East Taylor Street.
Over on East Taylor Street, I would have to check. I mean, my initial assumption would be that it's part of the NIPSCO lines that are still being replaced as the final end of that project. But outside of that, I can't think of anything along East Taylor offhand, unless he's got something in mind. Otherwise, I would assume that it's kind of the spillover, the NIPSCO
Gotcha. Okay.
utility replacement.
Yeah. And then he also wants to know, is there anything we can do about cars parked on the street with flat tires that have not been moved for years, he says.
So code enforcement, and either fortunately or unfortunately, I mean, if a vehicle is legally parked and it is plated and can be moved, it doesn't mean that it's got that the tires are flat. I mean, and unfortunately can stay there. But if it's been quite a while and it's flat, I mean, still call code enforcement to come out, and I mean, they would tag it and check it and take an assessment of it that way.
Gotcha. So just go to the city's website for that information.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Thanks, Carl, for those questions. Thank you guys for watching this episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post. If you have any questions for the mayor, make sure to leave them in a comment below here. Or as we always post something on Mondays, that's when we shoot the show. Normal weeks is on Mondays, so make sure to leave a comment or just get in touch with the Kokomo Post however you can. Always love chit-chatting with the mayor and answering some questions that
And
are
again,
on the
my
people.
apologies for having a lot of August.
Oh, you're fine.
Overlooked.
No big deal.
Missed, so
no, it was
we're back
a
on
weird
it.
month. Yeah,
We're back
no,
on
you're
it.
good. Yeah, we had, was it Labor Day or what? I mean,
Labor Day
it
too.
was
Yeah,
fine. No big
followed
deal.
on it.
Weird, weird weeks.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks for watching this, Mr. Mayor. As always,
My
you leave
pleasure.
us with a dad joke.
Oh, I was watching NFL football yesterday, and I heard the Buccaneers are moving to another state.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah, Arkansas.
Get it? Aaron liked that one. That was good. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching.
What's the Pirates' favorite letter?
She's asking you.
I'll ask either one of you. I think you know the answer, though.
It be the sea.
There it is. You could have gone either way.
That's right. Most people go.
That's a beautiful joke.
So, I mean, kind of Disney thing. I mean, anybody that's been to Disney, the kids were little, and you go to the Monsters Inc. thing, and it's like a stand-up kind of
Yeah.
thing, and you can submit questions. They chose my question, and it was that one. It was like, what's the favorite letter? And he would go R, and I'm like, no, it's the C.
It'd be the sea.
It'd be the C.
See, that's so
Anyway. Awesome. Well, thanks for watching this episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show. We will see you next week. Like I said, leave a comment below if you have any questions for next week's show, and we'll see you there.
See.